Hey, I'm Tony Jones.
And this is the Reverend Russell, and this is the Hardest Question video blog, and we are looking at...
We're looking at Easter 2, like second Sunday of Easter.
Yeah, second Sunday
the
of
Sunday
Easter.
after Easter Sunday, and you're wearing your white.
Oh, that's right.
Your resurrection white.
That's right. I'm special for this, and I will have this on until ordinary time, where I'll put my ordinary clothes back on.
Now we can finally say Alleluia.
Yeah.
So our blogger this week, Mark Stenberg, kind of tries to say, hey, Doubting Thomas is a hero, not a villain.
Yeah, like why did Doubting Thomas, why are we all piling on Doubting Thomas?
So I'd like to take the opposite tack and say Doubting Thomas is a villain.
And tell us why.
What's wrong with him?
Yeah.
Well, why can't he just believe, man? And here's the other thing that's interesting, right? The text does all the ancient medieval or Renaissance imagery are of Thomas like putting his finger in the side.
Right, yeah.
The text never says he gets to do that.
Really?
It doesn't. It just says he wants to.
Doesn't Jesus then invite him to do it?
Yeah, but it doesn't. It never says that he actually, does
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And so I don't know that Jesus actually grants his wish to put his fingers in Jesus' side.
I really feel I'm not okay. So
you go ahead and look at it.
I thought, I just thought, he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here and see my hands. Reach out your hand and put it in my side."
Thomas answered him, "My Lord and my God."
Oh, so he doesn't do it.
Right.
He doesn't do it. All right. Okay.
Jesus just by saying, "Okay, fine," like he calls his bluff, and Thomas is like, "Oh, you're the one. Yeah, it's really you."
Yeah.
Because only Jesus would have actually said that.
Yeah.
Not a ghost.
Right. So what are you saying?
I'm saying
why does that make him a villain?
I'm saying first of all, I don't know that it makes him a villain, but I'm saying it's a much more confusing pericope than we would think at face value, because he doesn't actually get his wish granted.
Am I wrong too to pick up some sexual undertones in this?
Oh, really?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, it's very, and Mark talks about this. It's very intimate. It's very bodily. It's very fleshy.
Right.
So.
So perhaps not sexual, but sensual.
Sensual.
It's very sensual. Yeah. He gives them the Holy Spirit by whispering, breathing right in their face. It all seems very, I don't know, intimate and Yeah.
And it's funny that we don't. It would have been nice if we would have had more background on Thomas earlier in the gospel.
Right.
Like if there would have been 2 or 3 episodes in earlier. Like if Peter would have done this, you'd be like, "Oh, that Peter."
Yeah, right. But Thomas, what's he like?
Who's Thomas?
Yeah.
We don't know.
It
would be really nice. So you could always invent a backstory.
That would be good for Thomas, a backstory. And I think that there's so much in this besides Thomas in this thing here. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff here. The Spirit, the disciples, him showing up. And I think, what does it mean? What Mark gets at that I think is interesting in his post is he says that Thomas has this sort of provisional faith, that he says, "I'm not quite sure. I want to believe."
But here's where Mark, that's not the point. Unfortunately, I'm with Mark.
Yeah.
But that's not the point of the pericope.
Yeah.
It ends by
him saying, "My Lord and my
I
God."
do believe, and then Jesus being like, "Good for you, because you've seen me, but think how much, how much better for those who haven't seen me."
Yeah.
So Thomas's faith ultimately isn't provisional.
No,
in this
Thomas's
text.
faith. And he's not necessarily that big of a doubter. The other people already saw Jesus.
Yeah. So anyways, it's a more confusing and tricky passage, I think, than we tell about in Vacation Bible School.
But I like the sensual nature of it, the intimacy, the wrestling out.
It's good.
Yeah.
All right, THQ. We'll look forward to seeing your thoughts on the blog.
All right.